Good morning, everybody. We're starting the show. It's called the Business to Business Network Show. If you're just waking up on a Saturday morning, going out to play golf, go jogging, and you happen to stumble into us, let me introduce the show. My name is Rex Perry, and we found people like talking about real estate and getting names and phone numbers of some of the top real estate agents of the Valley of the Sun. Our co-host is
Jeff Obrasky, Homeowners Financial Group. We are Arizona's award-winning mortgage banking company.
And you are the loan officer of the
year. One more quarter.
We only got a little bit of time left. We don't
have a two-time loan officer of the year. I wonder if they'll break the mold for me.
Excellent. And we are broadcasting from a beautiful listing. And Debbie, it's your listing. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Debbie Synagoga. I am with Russ Lyon Sotheby's International Realty in the North Scottsdale office.
And introduce this beautiful home we've set up in. This is kind of like the theater game room. It's beautiful here. Walk through the house for us.
Okay. Well, the home that we are in today was actually originally completed in 2009. It was lost by the builder to the lender. And so the current homeowner, as an investor, purchased the property and brought in his own builder, gutted the whole house on the inside, and redid it all. So in 2012, he completed it. It has never been lived in before, so it is almost as new as a new construction that you could get in 2014. It is an 8,159 square foot home.
8,100.
It is 5 bedrooms and 5.5 baths. All of the rooms are just gigantic, so you're really getting a lot of home for your money. It has a large living room area, a formal dining room, and a separate office. And then it also has a family room / bar area. The only part of the home that's on the lower level is the 4-car garage, which is great for a car lover.
Yeah.
And there is even an elevator shaft in the home. So if somebody did want to put in an elevator from the garage to the main level of the home, they could do that.
Incredible.
The interesting thing about this home is that we recently had an appraisal done. And at $211 a square foot, this home appraised substantially higher than the current list price of $1,724,000. So it appraised for $151,000 above that. So I feel like there's already some built-in equity in this property if somebody were to buy it. So I'm hoping that some listener out there will find an interest in this home.
This is a great value per square foot.
And let's talk about the community. We are in Troon
Highlands Estates,
okay.
But it's part of an area called Troon, not to be confused with Troon North.
Correct. Happy Valley, not Dynamite.
Correct. Yeah. And Troon Country Club, which is a private golf club, and I am a member of that club, is just a few minutes down the street, and that offers golf, tennis, workout facility, and lifestyle. It's a great community to belong to if somebody wanted to do something in an area where there's a golf course. We're a minute or two from Tom's Thumb. We're a minute or two from Pinnacle Peak for hiking and biking. So it's a beautiful area, but it's one of those areas of Scottsdale in particular that people don't know about. Troon Highlands Estates is tucked into the saddle of the McDowells, just at the backside of Troon.
So these mountains are beautiful.
It is beautiful. And then you come up Happy Valley, which is really easy.
Yeah.
You're 5 minutes north of the 101. But then you takes a couple of miles and you literally weave back into the back of the mountains.
Gated community.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is beautiful
and
and private.
These mountains are green right now. Did everybody notice this morning? I mean, because all this rain in the desert, this green desert
and
mountains.
And it's late,
beautiful.
so hopefully we're past the fire.
And the beauty of this area up here is there's 360-degree mountain views. So you've either got Troon, you've got the McDowells, you've got Pinnacle Peak, you've got the Continental Mountains, which are up near Desert Mountain. You have mountains in every direction, and you're at one of the highest elevations. There's another little...
It is cooler up here.
Yeah.
Well, and there's a little section of this area that has lots that are going for almost $1 million.
Yeah.
So
just the land.
Just the land. So when you think about a home that you can get that's 8,100 square feet
brand new
for $1,724,000, never before lived in, everything in this home is like new, and you have the beauty of this area in an area that's one of the only areas where new construction is even taking place. It's amazing.
Really great value. Now again, you've got jumbo financing.
Sure, we do. You're in that north of $1.5 million, so you're going to put down 20%. But that's it. There's no more of this.
Write checks for this.
Yeah, there's no more. Well, at this price point, you will probably see 50-50.
Okay.
Okay, you're in that $1 million to $3 million range. You are seeing a lot of financing now. I mean, I think you'll see a lot more going forward.
Well, I think a lot of people find that money is cheap, and so what they're doing is they're not trying to take all of their money from their investment accounts and putting it into a house when they can get money for such a low interest rate.
Adjustable rate.
7-year ARM on this place is going to be 3.5%.
That's zero. I mean, it's really 3.5%.
Close. Well, most of your payment will be principal.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at, let's say you put down $350,000, so you're about $1.4 million loan amount. At 3.5% taxes, insurance, and everything, probably about $7,000 a month, something like that.
Incredible. Now, you have another listing in this area.
I do. I have another property for sale in here that was completed in January of this year.
Brand new again.
2014, brand new build. It was built by my husband, who owns RS Homes, and it was built for a client. And so the home is now on the market for sale, never lived in. It is a smart home, so it's operating on a Crestron and a Lutron lighting system, for which the Lutron system is in. And it sits on a fabulous lot as well that backs right to the McDowell's, so it feels like your lot is bigger than it is. It is a 5-bedroom home, great room floor plan. It's got a PebbleTech pool and spa, 4-car garage, another great property with expansive views that's also available, and one of the only homes you're probably going to find in that price point that's brand new.
What's the list price on that?
$2,150,000.
$2,150,000.
Okay, for laymen like me.
Yeah.
In today's world, what constitutes a smart home?
A smart home is a home that's already been pre-wired with a system that could be a Savant system, a Crestron or Lutron system. Basically, it's a home automation system that really functions all of the features of the home. You can tie everything from your lighting system to your audio video system to your shades to the pool equipment to the air conditioning. Everything can run off of a pad that you have on a wall, or like an iPad if it's a Savant system.
Yep.
And that's how you operate the home.
You can do it with your iPhone.
And all you do is push a button, and it's really easy.
We're running out of time here. Let's get a phone number. How can people reach you?
480-703-2299.
And the website?
It is www.synagogaluxuryproperties.com.
And the phone number one more time?
480-703-2299.
You better spell synagoga.
S as in Sam, INAGOGA.
Excellent. And?
Jeff Obrasky, Homeowners Financial, 602-445-9094.
We got a great show for you. Stay tuned. We got some great agents coming on the show. My name is Rex Perry, 123, B as in business, Z as in zebra.com. Stay tuned. We're coming right back. C&R Tire is a family-owned business since 1996. They give a lifetime warranty on parts and labor for repairs on your car. They have 5 locations. If you hear this radio advertisement, they will give you a free oil change to any new customers. Just mention the radio show, free oil change, cnrtire.com. 480-339-0410. 480-339-0410. Jeff Walker with HealthyPoolCare.com can really help you solve those problems when you're trying to get a pool ready to show, when you're trying to sell a house. He does full pool repair, valley-wide. Jeff Walker, HealthyPoolCare.com, 602-421-7751. If your pool is green, if the plaster needs to be redone, if the pump is making noise, you call Jeff. He'll come out, free estimate, HealthyPoolCare.com, 602-421-7751. He's the best guy in the valley to get your pool fixed. Hello, Arizona. This is Rex Perry with Business to Business Radio. I've been doing a business networking show for 16 years, and I want to say something about business, politics, and economics. This is so important that everybody, every business person in Arizona, get registered to vote in the primary. Get registered, vote in the primary, and let's bring Arizona back to the middle instead of the far right. For comments, go to my website, 123bz.com. 123B as in business, Z as in zebra.com. Welcome back to the show, everybody. We got that bumper music now, and it's going to be waking everybody up on a Saturday morning. My name is Rex Perry, and if you've just tuned in, you're listening to the Business to Business radio show. We give real estate agents a chance to talk about listings, give out names and phone numbers, and our co-host is
Jeff Obrasky, Homeowners Financial Group.
Excellent. Our next guest is Robin. Introduce yourself, please.
Robin Orschlin with the team at Rest Lion Sotheby's.
And kind of introduce the team a little bit.
I started a team about a year and a half ago. We have worked together for 8 years in a group. We branched off, and we are doing something that is new in the market. I don't think it's being done by anybody else. We are 4 women, and we profit share. So we are all in on every sale. Each of us have same skin in the game. So when a seller is listing, they get 4 top producers for the price of 1.
And you're all 4 beautiful blondes and beautiful. That's right.
No, 2 blondes, 2
We're not all
brunettes.
blondes.
But the point is, you guys have a team, and the benefit of a team
Right.
is that somebody's always going to answer the phone.
But the profit sharing sounds like that's the key. You basically form sort of an LLC,
Right.
and you pool all the revenues.
Right.
Make
But
some-
it's really
that's a
more
great
about collaboration.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great sell, especially to an upscale client.
Sure. For sure it is.
They know they're not getting an assistant. They're getting a partner.
They're always getting a top producer representing their
Great idea.
property.
Excellent. Now, you have a builder that you're working with. Robin, tell us a little bit about that.
One of our builders is Rafter House, and they are really taking over Arcadia. They do a phenomenal job, and they have a huge following.
Are they new builds, or are they doing tear down rebuilds, or a combination?
They are doing a combination. They started small, and they've got some really great big projects coming up. Their product sells immediately, and they are really loved by the community.
Let's do this for the audience.
Because Arcadia is really a niche community,
Yeah.
and that's why I ask. And I know it's Paradise Valley, Arcadia are known for
prestige.
prestige, but there are also areas where sometimes there's scrapes where they'll actually, if the lot's appropriate and it doesn't make sense, they'll actually tear the whole house down
Correct.
and build from scratch. But a lot of them are, just major rebuilds. They'll leave 2-3 walls, so you get the easier
You get the
permitting,
remodeling fees
right,
versus
instead of the new
construction.
build fees.
Right.
Now, wait a minute. Now, let's introduce Arcadia boundaries. A lot of people listening, help us understand where that is.
So proper Arcadia is 44th Street to 68th Street, south of Camelback to the canal. That's Arcadia proper.
And the key here is that it is really a kind of a Midwest feel. You got these mature trees. You got beautiful big lots. Describe
Right.
it.
Very actually California also
Yeah.
with the palm trees. It was an old orchard, so it was covered with grapefruit, lemon, lime, orange trees originally. So the whole neighborhood is on irrigation, which is an option to a buyer, seller if they want to exercise that, which enables you to be able to keep it so green. You have the irrigation option.
That's fantastic. So do you have specific listings that you might want to do a walkthrough on?
Well, so for Rafter House, we have 3 great listings coming up. They try to preserve the integrity, like you're saying, Jeff, the integrity of a home if they can. They do not prefer to take a home down. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, go right ahead.
Yeah, so that's kind of their mission statement. Huge integrity with these guys. They are very, very stylized.
What type of architecture?
Probably craftsmen is what I would call it.
A lot of Arcadia is.
Yes.
Yeah. And we're talking, when you describe the roof line of that, is that with the pitched roof?
Pitched roof.
Yeah.
Their preference would be, depending on the price of the property, shake. They do a lot of exposed brick. Just a lot of special design details. Their heart and soul are in their build, so you see that kind of every corner that you turn.
And the key and the wonderful thing is this luxury market, especially in Arcadia, is going really well.
Yes, Arcadia is off the charts. We are having sales this summer and the last month. Houses are closing between $530 and $580 a square foot.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's quite a recovery.
Quite a recovery. Certainly in the 400s for the smaller properties, it's been amazing.
And days on market.
They are quick. So like a Rafter House, they would probably get an offer within the first week of going to the market if they don't pre-sell already. So
Incredible.
yeah.
So you want to work with a team, and Jeff, we've talked about this before, really important to have a group like this.
Absolutely. You need it for support, and for these guys have a niche in a market like Arcadia. When you have a pocket builder, if you will, versus pocket listings, a lot of times they'll know that they've identified a property to purchase and remodel. And one of the advantages, what I'm hearing at least, if you work with this particular team and this is where you want to be, you may get the phone call when the builder is just purchasing the land. Say, hey, by the way, you might want to drive by and look at this lot and see if it's something that you like.
Yes. Correct.
And if so, come talk to us and we can probably get you in and maybe even customize some of your features and that kind of thing.
A lot of add value.
And here's the point. If you are looking in Arcadia, it's a limited geographic area.
Correct.
And a limited number of listings. And so, therefore, the values are held, and you want to work with a group that really knows Arcadia.
You need to, because you need to know about the purchases that are coming and the ones that have sold off market. So you really do need to work with an expert in Arcadia or Paradise Valley.
Everything is not in the MLS.
No.
Especially in the higher-end, more exclusive areas.
Correct.
There are a lot of, quote-unquote, pocket listings. There are a lot of private transactions that occur, that unless you're combing county records, you may never see actually show up until it shows up in the Phoenix Business Journal.
Right. That's right.
I have a client of mine getting ready to build, a big place in there, and he almost sold his house in a private deal.
Right.
And all of a sudden the house the guy bought shows up in the Phoenix Business Journal.
Yep.
So you got to be careful about that.
Phone number, Robin, how can people reach you?
602-380-8735.
And the website?
And the website is theteam4results.com.
Theteam4results.com. Phone number one more time.
602-380-8735.
And Jeff?
It's Jeff Obrasky, 602-445-9094.
Thank you both so much for being part of the show. We got to do a break here. 123bz.com. If you miss anything, go to our website. 123b like in business, z like in zebra.com. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back. Dave Del Vecchio at ABD Printing. You got to give them a call. They can do banners of any size, brochures, business cards. They can help you put together your own magazine. They're a full-service printer, graphic designers that are award-winning. They can do websites for you. They do direct mail campaigns. You need them on your team. Dave Del Vecchio at 623-205-6996. 623-205-6996. abdprinting.com. Poolside pool repair. Pools, spas, remodeling, plastering, pebble tech, all repairs for pools, spas, and water features. New equipment, installation, decking, fencing. They've been in business for 15 years. They're a member of the Better Business Bureau. Residential and commercial, they work with homeowners, realtors, property managers. If you need your pool repaired, call 602-298-0344, 602-298-0344, or go to mypoolbroke.com. C&R Tire is a family-owned business since 1996. They give a lifetime warranty on parts and labor for repairs on your car. They have 5 locations. If you hear this radio advertisement, they will give you a free oil change to any new customers. Just mention the radio show, free oil change, cnrtire.com. 480-339-0410. 480-339-0410. Welcome back to the show, everybody. It's called the Business to Business Radio Show. My name is Rex Perry. If you've just tuned in, we give out names and phone numbers of real estate agents throughout the Valley of the Sun. Our co-host is...
I'm Jeff Obrasky, Homeowners Financial Group. We are Arizona's award-winning mortgage bank, and I for one more quarter.
Yes!
And the sitting loan officer of the year.
And that's from service and doing good things, right?
It is. We have a producer of the year, which I was not. I'm about number 5, but I was loan officer of the year, which means that, at least inside the company, I provide some value added to my work compatriots.
Excellent. And our next guest is Joe. Introduce yourself, please.
I'm Joe Lambiers, and my husband's name is John. And we've been working in the Valley for almost 30 years. We work for Realty Executives, and this July it will be 30 years that we'll be working for them.
Fantastic. What a great team, husband and wife team.
I guess they must be doing something right. 30 years together, same company.
Excellent.
Same partnership.
Excellent. Now, you've got some listings. We want to talk about those. What's the first one?
Okay, I have one that's in Westbrook Village, where the minimum age is 40 and above.
We all qualify.
We all qualify. And it's a casita. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and it's been completely redone from top to bottom. New walls, new AC, everything. It's got 2 golf courses, tennis courts. There's 2 rec centers. I will have it open on Friday from 1 to 5. And if you're interested, my phone number is 623-486-1012. We're asking $198.5.
$198.5. Now, that's a retirement community. What's the major intersection of that area? Is that the west side?
So
east
retirement and 40. Let me figure out, what am I doing wrong here?
And where are we talking? Where's Westbrook? It was Westbrook Village, right?
It's 83rd Avenue and Union Hills.
Oh, okay, right off the 101.
Right.
Great location. And
Right.
how much was the list price on that?
$198.5.
$198.5.
I mean, basically, you're in an adult community, so they're probably not doing FHA financing.
No.
20% down. You're talking $160,000 loan.
Incredible.
You're about $1,000 a month.
Wow.
Plus the HOA.
Yeah.
Which probably is a couple $100 a month if it's a master community.
And again, if they want to call you, let's get your phone number.
It's 623-486-1012. And literally, somebody just has to bring their belongings. This house needs nothing.
Excellent. Now, next listing, what's that one?
Okay, my next listing is over on Shaw Butte, which is just south of Cactus and 65th Avenue. It's a corner cul-de-sac, and you have a beautiful wraparound patio with a fenced pool. It has 2 AC units. It's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath, and we're asking $235 for it.
Wow.
It's a great home for kids. The master bedroom is downstairs, so if you have adult kids, the kids are kind of a little bit away.
We all like that, don't we?
Absolutely.
I have 6 boys, so I know.
I need 2 houses for that.
So, and the list price on that again?
That one is $235.
$235, and what's the square footage on that?
That one is a little over 2,700, and I am going to have that open on Saturday from 12 to 4.
Help me with that. That's under $100 a square foot.
It is.
Just barely, but that's
about
really good value. And what
square
kind
foot.
What kind of?
Well, you're under 271. Okay, you're in is that Glendale or still Phoenix?
That's Glendale.
Okay, that's what I fear. It's Glendale. That particular area, you'll get a mix in there. Probably won't have a 20% down buyer. It's not that typical. So, if you've had some recent credit issues, you had a foreclosure or short sale just a few years ago, it does qualify for FHA financing, which is 3.5% down. Okay, your payment's probably going to be, in the $1,600-$1,700 type of range.
For a 5-bedroom,
for a 5-bedroom house. Now, if your credit's a little bit better and you can do a 5 or 10% down conventional loan, you're going to bring that payment down several $100s a month. So, you're basically, renting, you're buying/renting for 60 or 70 cents a square foot.
Yeah, incredible.
Which I don't think you're going to rent it for any cheaper than that.
Exactly. Now, your third one, Joe.
The third one is over on 30th Avenue and Greenway. It's a tri-level. It's a 4-bedroom. It's 3 baths. There's 1 bedroom downstairs and 3 bedrooms upstairs. It's a large lot, almost 11,000 square feet.
Wow.
It has 2 AC units, and they've both been replaced recently. It has a beautiful brick patio in the backyard, and you can even walk to the bus stop. You're very close to the corporate center, which is on 30th and Bell, if anybody's familiar with the area.
Yeah, excellent. Again, list
So
price.
when you say tri-level,
yes.
Okay, I'm from back east. Okay, to me a tri-level is 3 levels above each other, or is this more of a split level where you've got 3 separate levels?
Do you walk down into a basement?
You can walk down about 4 steps, then there's another level.
Okay,
subterranean.
Right.
Right.
So the windows are right there.
And then,
it's about 4
and then
feet.
you've got the main floor, and then you've got a second story.
Those are unique in
Right.
Arizona.
Okay.
There's not a lot of those around.
And actually, it's very attractive, and we're asking $239 for that.
$239.
And it's just gone on the market since 2 days ago.
$239.
I think
Very similar.
it's just about what we just spoke about. And again, you're under the FHA loan limits, so you've got lots of options. 3.5% down FHA, interest rates are in the low 4s. A 5% down conventional, rates are back in the mid to upper 4s. We should mention, we haven't really talked about it, interest rates are up about 0.25% in the last several weeks, but we're right in the middle of the trading range we've been in for the last 12 months. So
here's the point: it's cheaper than rent to get these homes.
It is cheaper than rent. I mean, you're $1,200 to $1,600 or $1,700 a month, depending what type of financing you do. For you're talking 2,500, 3,000 square feet homes on decent sized lots, etc. And very, very, 35th Avenue and Bell is 15 minutes from everywhere now.
Let's get a phone number, Joe.
It's 623-486-1012.
One more time.
623-486-1012.
Everybody, we got a break for the news. It's a hard break coming at the bottom of the hour. Stay tuned through the news. We'll be back.
I'm Laura Ingram, and lucky you because you are tuned into the 50,000-watt powerhouse. Independent talk, 1100 KFNX. Listen to me weekdays at 6 a.m.
Laura Ingram mornings, Dennis Miller middays, Herman Cain afternoons, Michael Savage nights on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
This is the Blaze Radio News. I'm Brad James. A new video from the ISIS terrorists featuring what might be another American jihadist. The Blaze Radio's Chris Vermillion reports.
We're here with the soldiers of Bashar. You can see them now digging their own graves in the very place where they were stationed.
He may be an American, a masked ISIS terrorist in perfect English on video presiding over the execution of a group of Syrian men.
We are the harshest towards the kuffar, and the flames of war are only beginning to intensify.
The video is titled Flames of War. It's a 55-minute piece of propaganda from the ISIS terrorist group touting its victories and warning the U.S. of getting in its way. Intelligence experts say the man's accent is North American, and they're working to identify exactly where he's from.
Meanwhile, retired General Jack Keane calling the president's plan a weak hand. The Blaze Radio's Tom Peace reports.
The problem we have is our ground offensive campaign is a weak hand in Syria with the FSA, the Free Syrian Army. That's why they need to be armed, equipped, and trained, but more robustly than the president's plan, and we're obviously playing a weak hand in Iraq.
He says the military wants to strengthen that hand.
With air-ground controllers and advisors down at the lowest level, special ops taking down ISIS leadership, and a backup plan if that fails with U.S. combat brigades and coalition brigades. So we've got to strengthen that weak hand on the ground, which is the essence of this problem.
Keane on Fox News.
A manhunt for the cop killer in Pennsylvania. The Blaze Radio's Greg Moore reports.
Eric Matthew Frayne has been the subject of a massive manhunt since he allegedly ambushed a pair of officers last Friday night outside of a state police barracks in Blooming Grove, Pennsylvania. Frayne is a self-taught survivalist and reportedly has a vendetta against the government and law enforcement.
This is news on the Blaze Radio Network. Truth lives here.
From the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center for the rest of the morning. Unity Party County all over on 70. Heading into Saturday, there's a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Unity Party sunny with a high of 94. Sunday, there's a 2 in 10 chance of rain and thunder shower activity. We'll have a mostly sunny day to wrap up the weekend with a high of 94. I'm Rod Tanner from the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center.
Currently, in downtown Phoenix, it's 82 degrees.
I'm Amy McClure, owner of A&M Mechanical. When my customers have no heating or cooling in their homes, my service trucks have to be ready to respond. So we rely on National Automotive Repair. They keep our entire fleet up and running all year long. Of course, we also trust National Automotive Repair with our personal vehicles, too. My company strives on providing service with integrity, so I choose an automotive repair shop that does, too. I trust National Automotive Repair to care for all my vehicles. I can rely on them to be honest, timely, and fair with every visit. You, too, can trust National Automotive Repair. They will care for all of your vehicle servicing needs.
Hi, I'm Randy from National Automotive Repair. National Automotive Repair has been in business since 1997, and I built this business on the basics of honesty and integrity. NAR is an independently owned Napa Auto Care Center. We are also an ASE Blue Seal of Excellence shop. We have always been rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. Give us a call at 602-978-3278, 602-978-3278, or visit us at narepair.com.
Racers Advantage Store, Arizona's largest distributor of Simpson racing safety equipment and performance products for off-road, circle track, drag racers, karting, and quarter midgets. Your source for auto racing helmets, fire suits, gloves, shoes, Nomex safety equipment, and gear accessories from Simpson, the leader in auto racing safety equipment for over 50 years. The Racers Advantage Store proudly brings the latest in racing gear innovations to the Southwest region. Visit racersadvantagestore.com. That's racersadvantagestore.com.
View our update widget at 1100KFNX.com.
All right, welcome back from the news. It's called the Business to Business Network Show. That's what you've tuned to. My name is Rex Perry, and if you just turned on your radio, what we're doing is high-speed networking on the air every week, giving out names, phone numbers, websites, talking to real estate agents, and our co-host is
Jeff Obrasky, Homeowners Financial Group.
And our next guest is Brandon. Introduce yourself a little bit.
Hi, I'm Brandon Mullen with Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage in Scottsdale.
And let's go into your listing first. People like to hear what's on the market. We just talked to Jo. She's out on the west side, northwest.
Yep, northwest side.
You're kind of in the North Scottsdale area, right?
Sure.
Tell us about this home.
Well, I've got a custom home off Scottsdale Road in Joe Max. The address is 27200 North 69th Street, and it's 85262. It's a really great laid-out home. It's a split floor plan, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. It's updated. Got the pool, got the spa in the back. 4,106 square feet, just a great lot, 51,000 square foot lot, listed at $739,000.
$739,000, and for jumbo?
For jumbo, 20% down in that particular market, you're, at roughly a $600,000 loan. Rates right now on jumbos on a 30-year fixed are in the mid-4s. On your ARM product, your 7-year ARMs, you're in the mid-3s. But on a 30-year fixed, you're probably looking at principal, interest, taxes, and insurance of approximately $4,000 a month.
Wow, for a beautiful custom home.
For a $750,000 home.
Yeah, wow. And you're Joe Max as you're heading north on Scottsdale Road from the 101. That's a beautiful
on the way towards the boulders and
beautiful area.
Yeah.
Yep. And for how much?
And it just isn't far out anymore. I mean, you're literally down to Pinnacle Peak, with all that shopping, and you're at the 101 in 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Yep.
And list price?
$739,000, and that's just under $180 a square foot.
Really?
Yeah. Under $500
in Scottsdale, under $200 a square foot is really a good.
Yeah, you're up north. Okay, yeah. I mean that's still north Scottsdale, so it's still deserty up there.
Yeah.
You got city. You might have some city light views. You definitely will have some critters running around from time to time. But unlike 25 years ago, where you had to drive 25 minutes to get to anything from, you're 10 minutes to the 101, you probably get the Desert Ridge in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
Scoot right across Joe Max.
Really,
and you're there.
Let's get a phone number if people want to get more information on that one.
My phone number is 602-540-8645.
Now, let's talk a little bit about rentals, because you've worked with investors. Let's talk about that a little bit. Tell us about your background on that.
Work with investors who do both fix and flip and buy and holds. I just got an investor into a really emerging area off 19th Avenue in Thunderbird. He bought a single-family house, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,600 square feet for $135,000. And the big thing there in that area, it's appreciating because of the light rail extension. It's close to schools as well. And the big thing we looked for in that price range was the square footage, because we knew we wanted to be over that 1,500 square foot mark, because when it appreciates and it comps out in the future, then it's going to be compared to properties that are 1,600 square feet, 17, 18, and we're going to see that difference in the price in the future. And he's got it back on the rental market for $1,150.
Did it need much work?
It didn't. He had a couple different bids, just some, deferred maintenance. He's looking at about $1,500 in maintenance.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's nothing.
Wow, that's
nothing.
That's a lot of square footage
for $135,000
for the money.
Sure.
That close to the Central Corridor.
And
you're not, you're not out at 160th Avenue.
No.
The schools in that area. You got Grand Canyons down there. Grand Canyon.
You're right around the corner from Maricopa Community College.
Sure. Thunderbird High School is close by.
This is good. Let's do it.
Well, we did. We actually ran this, from an investment perspective. We did some matchbook math. Okay, and this is, if you are an investor and thinking of buying rental property, this is basically how you should do it. Take $130,000. Take 25% of that, Let's just call it $30,000. Okay? You're going to take a $100,000 loan. You're going to put in $30,000 cash. Your payment on that with taxes and insurance is going to be approximately $650 a month. Okay? Let's assume you have $200
per month
a month in maintenance and management. Your management fees are probably $75 a month if you don't self-manage.
Yeah.
Okay? If you're paying a management company, okay, and you do have some, maintenance, a couple things a year go wrong, $200 a month, that's $850. You're netting $300 a month. That's $3,600 a year on a $30,000 investment. If my math is correct, I am in the numbers business, so I hope I'm close. I believe that's 12% cash return on your money.
That's good.
That doesn't include the tax benefit you get for the depreciation. Sure. And it doesn't include any potential appreciation.
Sure.
So if you have a significant amount of money either in the stock market and you want to diversify a little bit, or you're sitting on a lot of cash, okay, or you're sitting on a lot of bonds that are paying you 2%.
Yeah.
Okay. Not that you go sell it all, because
we all know what you're talking
about. Correct, but you got to diversify, because we've had bad markets in real estate.
Yeah, sure.
But from a cash flow perspective and appreciation, it's 12% cash on cash.
And Brandon's the guy to find the deal.
They are out there, and I find them.
And that is in today's market. That's a good deal.
That is
in 2014.
And they are out there.
They are. They take some searching. And this one, we looked at it when it was one day on the market, and there were already 2 offers on, and we got it. So it just takes a little bit of hunting and patience.
And it does help if you have the cash
ready
so
to go.
You can buy one of these in cash and close in a week.
And get pre-qualified.
Well, if you want to do a loan, be pre-qualified. If you've got the cash, understand this. Fannie Mae does allow for you to go out and buy a property for cash. And they get 70% of your purchase price out a day after you purchase it.
Wow.
You don't have to wait 6 months or a year anymore. But it's purely if you pay 100% cash. So if you need to, you don't want to really actually own it for cash, but that's your only way to buy it. Or have a hard money lender. There's a couple different ways to do it. Be prepared so you can pull the trigger now.
Yeah. Let's get your phone number again.
My phone number is 602-540-8645, and I can find those investment homes.
He'll do it for you, and he also works to get a renter, too. He doesn't manage, but he helps to get a renter. And for financing,
it's Jeff Obrasky at Homeowners Financial Group, 602-445-9094. I'll run these scenarios for you. I'll run, financing versus cash. I know hard money lenders, if you don't have the cash, but you want to do something really quick, we'll get you your cash out in 2 months.
Thank you both so much. We're going to do another break here. 1, 2, 3. B as in business, Z as in zebra.com. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back. Dave Del Vecchio at ABD Printing. You got to give them a call. They can do banners of any size, brochures, business cards. They can help you put together your own magazine. They're a full-service printer, graphic designers that are award-winning. They can do websites for you. They do direct mail campaigns. You need them on your team. Dave Del Vecchio at 623-205-6996. 623-205-6996. abdprinting.com. Hello, Arizona. This is Rex Perry with Business to Business Radio. I've been doing a business networking show for 16 years, and I want to say something about business, politics, and economics. This is so important that every business person in Arizona get registered to vote in the primary. Get registered, vote in the primary, and let's bring Arizona back to the middle instead of the far right. For comments, go to my website, 123bz.com. 123B as in business, Z as in zebra.com. C&R Tire is a family-owned business since 1996. They give a lifetime warranty on parts and labor for repairs on your car. They have 5 locations. If you hear this radio advertisement, they will give you a free oil change to any new customers. Just mention the radio show, free oil change, candrtire.com. 480-339-0410. 480-339-0410. Welcome back to the show, everybody. It's called the Business to Business Network Show. My name is Rex Perry, and if you just turned on your radio, let me reintroduce the show. We're giving out names and phone numbers of real estate agents, talking about listings, talking about the Valley of the Sun. The co-host is
Jeff Obrasky, Homeowners Financial Group.
Our next guest is Ronnie. Introduce yourself, please.
Hello, my name's Ronnie Ziegler. I'm with Realty One Group.
And Ronnie, you've got an interesting background. Kind of introduce that with your sign language.
That short moment of silence is what 40% of my clientele base hear. Nothing. I actually work with deaf clients. I'm fluent in sign language, which the radio show isn't really going to help reach them.
Right.
But if you do know someone who is deaf and dependent on sign language, I am the agent for them.
Tell us some of the stories and different people that you've worked with and their background and some of the homes that you've sold.
Okay. Keeping in line with the deaf clientele, I have helped several retirement age people who have bought and sold many homes over time. They like Sun City Grand. And the one thing I've explained via sign language to the client, the contract, all of the terms, and I look at them and I say, oh, I'm sure you already know this. And they look at me and say, no one's ever taken the time to explain it to me. And so that was a shock to me that they wouldn't really understand what they were signing.
Yeah. And that's important to have a good lender to be able to get down to the nitty-gritty.
Absolutely. People, it's kind of like first-time home buyers. Right? I understand if you're educated, okay, and you want to do e-signing docs because it's easy and you don't want to meet me because I'm not that good looking. I get all of that. But I do the same thing with first-time home buyers. Unless they're not in town, I insist they come in and actually hand sign the documents. And I go through every single page in that loan application with them. It's the same thing with a real estate contract, at least once. And if you're doing it over and over again, yes, the verbiage, the contracts don't change. The loan documents don't change that much, but it's really important that we have an educated consumer. We don't want them coming back and say, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
It doesn't help anybody in the industry.
Yeah. Can I piggyback on that, please, Rex? That's another kind of story that I wanted to share. The millennials out there, many of them have watched their parents or grandparents lose their home.
Yeah.
And I have a client who was relocating out here for work, rented for 4 years in the Midwest, came out here, wanted to rent, showed them the difference on rental and purchase, not knowing that they had watched their parent lose a home. So they are safer in their mind renting, but over time, that educational piece is going to help them understand that does not have to happen to them. The market is different. Education, buy within your means.
Yeah, especially if you know you're going to be here for long term. I mean, there's a lot of movement.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're being transferred in here and you know it's a 2-year assignment and your company doesn't use relocation companies, which guarantees they'll buy you out, I totally understand it. You may not want to buy.
Yeah.
It's not a guaranteed. I mean, it's going to cost you 6% to sell it. So if you don't make 3% a year,
you got a problem.
It may not have been worth your while. Totally, that makes sense. But, if you're here, you think you're here for a 5-year plus period of time, buying in today's market with today's prices, with interest rates where they are, in Maricopa County where we all live, it is in almost every single case cheaper to buy than to own, than to rent. But there's something different too. The fact of the matter is that home ownership is not all about making money. It's about a community and where you live. And it is a fact throughout the United States, quite frankly, throughout the world. You get into areas that have higher levels of home ownership. People take more pride in the property because it's theirs. They keep it up nicer. Values hold better. These are people that are probably interested in education for their children.
Yep.
And making them better. The schools are better, which means it's better for your children and it's also better for your home prices. The communities are safer.
Yep.
Okay, so home ownership was never designed to be about making money. Okay, it was designed about a quality of life.
Yeah. And being a citizen.
Being a citizen and being a member of your community where you have a vested interest in not just the inside of your walls, but the outside.
Yeah. Did you have, now let's go back to that couple that was coming in from out of state. Were they from did you say the Midwest, and they were finally in a retirement mode? Was it both a husband and wife that you had to sign to with deaf, or was it?
Okay. Yes, that's actually, you've kind of married the two stories together. The couple that moved from the Midwest, no, they're younger. Okay. The couple that moved to Sun City Grand, yes, they are both deaf. Trying to think if they have deaf children, but they're retirement age. They came from Northern California.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and did they pay cash or did they get financing?
They did financing.
Interesting.
Since then, they may have paid it off. I don't kind of get into all that financial stuff. I leave that to someone like Jeff.
It's important to have a good lender to do that. But see, the point is there are retirement people that are coming here, and who knows what their situation is. Mm-hmm. But they usually have a pretty good down payment to make, but they still might want to finance.
Totally. And it depends what type of income they have. Do they have pensions? You get Social Security.
And sometimes it's so cheap to borrow money right now. Even if we hit 5%, oh, the horror.
We are, by the way, we are going to hit 5%. Everyone out there.
Get off the fence.
Okay?
Yes.
And you know what? Someday down the line, you might actually even see a mortgage that says 6%.
Yeah.
That is the low of the normal range of 6 to 8.
And you will kick yourself for not calling Ronnie.
But it's going to happen when jobs are strong, when the economy is better, when people are spending more money, when people are more secure in buying homes. And guess what's going to happen to the price of your home?
It's going to go up?
It is.
Are you seeing an increase currently on interest rates?
Interest rates, which went down almost 0.5 to 0.75% earlier this year, have now backed up about 1/4 to 3/8 of a point in the last month. We're right in the middle of the range. We're at an area that if they go a little bit higher, they're probably going to go to the top of the range, but you're still probably 6 months out plus before you actually start seeing something with a 5 in front of it.
Well, if you need a great realtor that knows how to sign, call Ronnie. Phone number?
480-330-6745. And even if you're hearing, I'll take awesome care of you.
And do you have a website you want to give out?
I do. zhome.com.
zhome4u.com. Phone number one more time.
480-330-6745. Thank you.
Everybody stay tuned. We got music coming. Time for a break. 123bz.com. If you miss anything, give me a call. I'll hook you up. Stay tuned. Coming right back. Dave Del Vecchio at ABD Printing. You got to give them a call. They can do banners of any size, brochures, business cards. They can help you put together your own magazine. They're a full-service printer, graphic designers that are award-winning. They can do websites for you. They do direct mail campaigns. You need them on your team. Dave Del Vecchio at 623-205-6996. 623-205-6996. abdprinting.com. Hello, Arizona. This is Rex Perry with Business to Business Radio. I've been doing a business networking show for 16 years, and I want to say something about business, politics, and economics. This is so important that every business person in Arizona get registered to vote in the primary. Get registered, vote in the primary, and let's bring Arizona back to the middle instead of the far right. For comments, go to my website, 123bz.com. 123B as in business, Z as in zebra.com. C&R Tire is a family-owned business since 1996. They give a lifetime warranty on parts and labor for repairs on your car. They have 5 locations. If you hear this radio advertisement, they will give you a free oil change to any new customers. Just mention the radio show, free oil change, cnrtire.com. 480-339-0410. 480-339-0410.